So how you're listening to music can really change the way that you play music. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're really intently listening to something, you're more likely to pick up on the nuances of whoever you're listening to and be able to use that in your own playing. Hey everybody, how you doing today? Chris G, Positively Progressing. Today we're going to be talking about active listening. Oh, hold on, let me turn that off. That was just a tune from Lucas Pino's new album called Covers. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's streaming on all platforms. Feel free to download it, check it out. It's amazing. He sounds incredible on it. The whole band does. I've been enjoying it for this past week, so you should too. And today we're going to be featuring Lucas's playing on this active listening tutorial, if you will. Active listening versus passive listening. The way that I determine which one I'm doing depends on what I'm doing and what my concentration level is. So when I'm just baking or cooking or playing with my kids and I got music on in the background, that's really passive listening. I can't really do all those things and really focus on the music. But when I'm transcribing, or if I'm driving in my car or going for a walk, I can get more into the music when I'm more focused. Now, we can't always have our instruments on us and transcribe all day. I wish we could. But you can still get benefit out of active listening when you don't have your instrument. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How do we learn from active listening without our instruments? And we're going to use Lucas's video, and he played Cherokee like through almost every key, and it's fantastic. It's like 12 minutes long. You can check it out on Instagram. I'll try to find the link and put it below. I've put together a couple of examples from that video of Lucas just shedding, and want to show you some really cool things that he did on there and some ideas for you on how to impart that into your practicing and how to improve your playing. So in this first example, it's pretty cool, using a higher note as like your main note that it stays on, and then he's keeping that higher note fairly consistent. I think he's only dropping down about a whole step as he plays through this progression. It's beautiful. This is one of my favorite parts of the solo. This sequence or motif that he uses. He has this motif last for about 15 seconds, which is incredible, and he's just taking it all through the changes. So as he gets out of this, he's using the same shape, but he changes the rhythm and just absolutely just blows my mind. It's so cool. Check it out. So in this next clip, this is a great rhythmic one. The first part of it, I hear this whole tone idea with kind of a call and response thing going, and then I hear what I'm calling maybe a 3/8 feel over 4/4. So what he's doing is, if you think about 3/8, we have 3/8 notes, and he's playing the first 2/8 notes, but then he's taking a rest on that third one. So if we start that on the downbeat, we're gonna hit the first 2/8 notes on the downbeat. The next time we get to that same thing, we're going to be on the upbeat, so it's going to be like bop 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 bop, right? And it's really, really cool, and he's doing it way faster than I just sang it, and it gives this really cool feel. Everything in this whole 12-minute solo blows my mind. It's just a fun one to check out and to learn from. This next one's just a bunch of great 2/5 sequencing through the bridge. He's absolutely shredding still. This is 9.5 minutes in, and he's still just flying through. I don't know what key he's in at this point. I've lost track. This last clip is just Lucas making quarter notes sound amazing. He does this throughout the solo, but this last one just stood out to me, and he's about 11 minutes in or so. I don't even remember the timestamp on this one, but he just makes these quarter notes sound so smooth, and it's just he's so effortless. I love it. Just brings a smile to my face. how can this help us? How can some of this information help us? Well, we can be inspired to transcribe. That's one thing. But we can also use this information, and our ears are starting to respond to it. If you listen to someone long enough, you might start articulating like them without even knowing, or you might start adding ornamentations in, or you might start hearing stuff in your inner ear that's like, oh, it's guiding you somewhere, and it might have been an influence from someone you listened to. So there are some subconscious things happening, but there's also some active things and conscious things you can do. For instance, that whole tone idea I heard Lucas do, I could transcribe that whole tone idea and start putting it in different parts of tunes that I know. If I wanted to try to do something more rhythmic, I can use that 3/8 idea and figure out how to put that into tunes and start using that over 4/4 and then going back and forth between, an eighth note line and maybe a 3/8 line with those types of rest and departure points that can really change up the way that I'm playing or the ideas that I'm trying to express. So don't forget to actively listen. Make it a part of every day. Just do it for 5 minutes a day, maybe 10 minutes if you can, to pick one tune and listen to it. I find it really fun and really exciting actually when I hear something I hadn't heard before. Like just these small little nuances. And those small nuances are going to develop you as a player and help you grow and create your own style. There's so much language and so much lineage that came before us that is really spelled out on how we can play this music. I guarantee Lucas listened to a ton of people before he developed his own style. He also probably transcribed a ton of people. And I bet, most of the people you talk to that are some of the greatest musicians in the world will tell you the same thing. They probably listen to tons and tons of music to get better at the craft. All right, so you know what to do every day. Active listening. Just remember, always positive, always progressing. Later.